Thank you so much for joining us for another awesome episode of Bioenergetics Beat. I'm Heather Gray, a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner and certified bioenergetic practitioner. And this episode is brought to you today by NIKKI, Unleash the Wellness Within. It's a non-invasive, easily affordable, and highly effective approach to optimize wellness. It's a wearable device that puts frequency better based life in your hands and on your wrist. And you'll want to make sure to stick to the very end because we always have something awesome to give away. But you're not going to want to miss one little beat of this episode anyway, because we've got one of our very own who's been with us for a long time. We're going to go a little bit into her story on some of the testimonial that she has with the program. And then we're also, after the break, we're going to talk about some of the more frequently asked questions, right? Because maybe you'll hear your question. Maybe you're sitting there right now with your NIKKI going, oh, that's what I needed to know. So hopefully we'll spark some conversation with that. But everybody, hey, let's welcome Janis to the show. Miss Janis, welcome.
Thank you. Hi, Heather. Good to be here.
Miss Janis, I've heard you have some pretty amazing information to tell us about your experience with using the Wave 1 and the NIKKI. Could you tell us a little some of the benefits that you experienced when using the product? Can you tell us first who you are and what you do here at Free Medica?
Yes, my name is Janis Klipper, and I started working here August 1st, 2018. And I work with customers and customer service, and I also do Lyme trials and help people with the device and the technology.
How did you get involved with Free Medica to begin with? Like what brought you to this?
Well, they thought I would be a good fit. So in June of 2018, I came down from Kelowna and had an interview with our Nicole Sullivan. And she told me all about the device and about frequencies, and I hadn't known much about them before, and had talked to me about Lyme disease because it wasn't in my radar really, and about people going to different doctors and spending a lot of money, and just the difference these frequencies are making, helping people turn a corner. So I gave it a lot of thought, and I joined in, as I said, 2018, August 1st.
That's incredible. Yay. So tell us some of the benefits that you noticed when you were using the program.
So it was interesting. Before I started, in the month of March, I turned 60. And then in April, I had some news that really affected a lot of different areas of my life. And I started to get a bunch of symptoms that progressed like a tsunami. And I thought I was getting dementia. And I also thought I was getting MS from the symptoms I had neurologically, mentally, physically, and I was terrified. I would do a dementia test every week, and I'm a nurse as well. So we always self-diagnose ourselves. And no one really knew how bad I was, except people that were close to me, because you can hide it pretty well. And my daughter had come to see me. I hadn't seen her for 7 months. And she had told me about a year and a half later that I had gone downhill so quick that what she had seen when she came and saw me in Mother's Day of 2018 was what she envisioned me like as a little old 85-year-old lady. And so anyway, I was tested, and as they were testing me, they were picking up some of the things that I had. And Stuart started asking me about the symptoms. And I said, yes, I have that. And I experienced that. I experienced that. And then he said, Janis, have you ever been bitten by a tick? And I went, oh my gosh, I had forgotten that in 4.5 years prior, I was taking an outdoor photography class in the summertime, wearing my bare feet in Skechers. And I took my Skechers off at the end of the day, and I had a tick attached to the top of my foot. And so I just screamed like, get that thing off me. But Lyme still was not in my radar. And I didn't get a bullseye rash or anything. And so I had symptoms, but I thought it was, menopause, until in 2018, when I had a very stressful life event. That's when symptoms it was unbelievable. I went to my eye doctor because my vision was impaired. I went to my regular doctor. I had ultrasounds because I had swelling on the side of my neck. Everything was fine as far as they were concerned. And so I started wearing the Wave 1. And it did take time. It's not immediate. It wasn't for me, and it's different for everyone. And one by one, my symptoms started to ease or drop off. Now, I don't know what my immune system took care of first, but the first thing I noticed is I was sleeping better. And I just thought, well, I've moved to Vancouver Island from Kelowna, so I'm at sea level now. And then a couple of weeks later, I picked up a book by the side of my bed and I could read it. And before, when I try to read, it was like it looked like there was like a sentence sort of over top of another one, and I couldn't make it out, very blurry. And then finally, the third thing, this was a little while later, it was the second place I moved into. And I went into the bathroom to open up the bathroom window, and I had to step up on the edge of the tub and lean over. So when I did that, I opened the window, went back into the living room, and then it hit me. I thought, when I moved from Kelowna, I was so weak. I had to take down the shower curtain when I was moving. I had to push myself up on the counter, lift up my arms like I was doing a chin up to get the shower curtain down. I was wondering, am I going to get take down the shower rod? And I could not even hold up my own body weight. So I went back into the bathroom. I tried my other leg and I could do it. So every week, without fail, I'd go back and test both legs. And that's when I realized this device is starting to work. And as I say, one by one, it seems like when people start to have things drop off or an ease of symptoms, it seems to be like one at a time you'll notice and be mindfully aware, because they just get better and better. And that builds over time. So when you talk to me a year later, there was so much that had changed in my life, and even up into the second year. And I've said to people that I talk to, I don't know where I'd be today, what kind of shape I would be in if I didn't get this device, because I was going downhill fast, and I was honestly terrified for my brain and for my body.
I
So
think some of the brain stuff is some of the most scary stuff, especially when you're
it
still
is.
cognitive, that
Mhm.
it's slipping. Like that was one of my most terrifying things. And Miss Janice, I didn't realize you had your own Lyme story.
Oh,
Like, holy cow.
I can share
Um,
my details with you sometime. I mean, it was bad. So I share my story on the phone with people, and like, oh my gosh, I had that. I mean, I have a list of symptoms. And even with talking with clients, I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot I used to have that. So
right.
yeah, it's been the thing that's interesting about me. We never tell anyone this. I never went to a doctor or used anything, antibiotics or anything, because I had heard about the wave one. And I thought, why would I personally, what was my journey? Why would I go to a doctor? I just used this technology. So
That's incredible.
it's
Holy cow.
incredible. Yeah.
That is incredible. Tell me a little bit about the difference between, like, we just came out with the NIKKI. We had the NIKKI, and then now we're out with the NIKKI Plus line. Can you tell me a little bit about the difference between the NIKKI and the NIKKI Plus line?
My pleasure. So the Lyme program is the same. And the big difference is with the Wave 1, you download an app on your computer, and you have a data USB cord that you connect to your Wave 1 and to the computer, and your app pops up. And that's where you are able to adjust some of the time settings. For example, the Lyme program is frequencies of detoxification. Lyme Complete. Lyme Complete addresses Lyme, co-infections, viruses, bacteria, mold, and parasites, and then also a frequency session for stress and anxiety. So with the Wave 1, you can adjust the times, as I said, for the detox or the Lyme Complete, and also the stress and anxiety. With the NIKKI Plus Lyme, you download, it's an app that you do on the App Store, Play Store, or Apple Store. And it's a device that you wear on your wrist. So it's it's smaller, just like that. It looks like an Apple Watch. And you slide the screen and tap. And what happens is, what's so easy about it is the program is set for you. You don't need to make any changes at all with the NIKKI. And it starts out with 1 minute on detox, 1 minute on Lyme Complete, 60 minutes on stress and anxiety. That's day 1. Day 2, it adds 1 more minute to detox, 1 more minute to Lyme Complete, 60 minutes for stress and anxiety. So I think I said seconds before. Day 3, it adds 1 more minute to detox, 1 more to Lyme Complete, 60-minute stress and anxiety. And it continues to build up 1 minute each day until you reach day 30. And we're building you up slowly to that to get your body used to the frequencies. And then you continue, that's like the full program, 30 minutes detox, 30 minutes Lyme Complete, 60 minutes stress and anxiety. So that's the main difference. It's using the computer, and with the NIKKI device, it's just taps and play, and it's just super simple.
I love how easy this is, and to change it, at any time, like when I'm traveling using EMFs, or if I'm in the middle of an allergy attack and I can just switch it to allergies. Uh,
Exactly.
Tell me a little bit, go deeper into the Lyme support program. Like, why is it so robust? And tell me what all makes up of the Lyme support program.
Well, as I said, it's a detox program. So that's first. We need to detoxify your body because we want to clean around all those cells. If they've got a lot of gunk around them, your cells are not going to be receiving the information from the frequencies well. So we need to detoxify the body first. And I know a lot of people will be on a detox program and they'll go to a health food store and they'll buy detox, and they're taking those things orally. So the big difference is, if they're taking something orally, it's information telling their body to detox. But when you're doing it through frequencies, it's just a different route. It's a different way of taking that. And the detox will tell your lungs to detoxify, your liver, your kidneys, your lymph, everything, get the lymph moving. That's very, very important. So that's the first set of frequencies. And then the Lyme, it takes care of all different types of Lyme, many co-infections, and the viruses and bacteria, mold and parasites that are common to people that have a compromised immune system, like having Lyme, because those are opportunistic things and they just jump on board. So for example, I had, what did I have? I had Mycoplasma, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, Babesia, and toxoplasmosis. So the tick that bit me didn't actually have Lyme, but it had Babesia, which is a co-infection. So people with Lyme will have multiple, they'll have like a whole cocktail of things. And what I love about the Lyme Complete is it's so comprehensive that your immune system will only take the information that it needs and go after that. So for example, I didn't have Lyme, so my immune system didn't use the information for Lyme, but it used it everything else. And then the stress and anxiety is really important, because when your body is fighting off symptoms and you've got symptoms that are increasing, you are literally in a fight or flight mode. And we really need to calm the sympathetic nervous system down to calm so that your body can begin to heal and receive that information and use it well. So it's very comprehensive, and I am living testimony. We have so many people that their lives have been turned around because it is so comprehensive and it takes care of so many things.
That's beautiful. And it's funny because in the functional health world, they like to talk about getting to the root cause of any issues. But really, I feel like, just as like conventional medicine, we're diving deeper with functional medicine. Now we're diving even deeper with the bioenergetics, right? Because that typically has a tendency to be the root cause, because if our bioenergetic field is out, if our coherence, between our brain and our heart are not talking to each other, right, that has a tendency to have everything else out. So even like the supplements that you take, or of the food that you eat, you're not going to get the full benefit out of it if your bioenergetic field is still out, if your coherence in your heart and your brain aren't talking to each other properly. So I love this type of technology, and we've made it so freaking easy with the NIKKI.
Exactly. And people, some people that are not computer savvy, I'm one of those, and that's the thing that's great about the NIKKI. It's pretty simple, the app on the phone, and you're pretty much done.
Super simple. And I love how we're coming out with new frequencies. And once you already have that app, right, downloaded, then you can purchase new frequencies as they come out. I imagine at some point we'll probably have something for, I don't know. I don't want to get into speculation.
I mean,
exactly. Name it. Like, we're going to be coming up with all kinds of crazy stuff. We've already started bundling, frequencies together.
I feel that there's no limit, really. Personally, I'm very excited about this.
So I've been told to ask you the difference between NIKKI plus Lyme versus just the Platinum program.
Okay, so NIKKI plus Lyme. NIKKI plus Lyme has the Lyme program, which I've been talking about. The detox, Lyme Complete, and the stress and anxiety with a 1 minute increase each day, up to 30 days, getting you to that point, and then you continue to wear it. 30 minutes on detox, 30 minutes on Lyme Complete, and 60 minutes on stress and anxiety. And you don't need to change that. It advances all by itself. So you wear it for one full cycle. 16 hours later, it's going to add a minute. So that's how it works. The NIKKI Platinum, those are frequencies for wellness. So that's not for a specific diagnosis at all. That is for people that are well and they want enhanced wellness. So that's the big difference. If you have Lyme, you buy the NIKKI plus Lyme. If you want to have enhanced wellness, you buy the NIKKI. Or, NIKKI plus Lyme plus the enhanced wellness, the platinum features to have on both is very handy as well.
I think some people, it can be a little confusing because we have a 30-day money back guarantee. And then you also talked about, it takes 30 days to get to full maximum dose, but does that mean that we stop using it after 30 days?
No, not at all. And I know with the wave one, when we have been selling that, it's a 30-day return policy. I like to talk about return policy with the wave one, because you're not going to have your Lyme unraveled and be feeling fantastic in 30 days. It's just, some people that I have talked to, literally, I think the longest one has had Lyme for 50 years, 40 years, 30, 20. I mean, the entire range, you name it, and they come to us, and they've used so many other things, many other modalities, gone from doctor to doctor, etc. So yeah, you continue to wear it. I still wear mine. I don't have it on at the moment, but I still wear mine because I'm getting the benefit of detox. And if I ever get bit by another tick, I talked to 3 people this spring that were terrified, and they'd gone to the emergency to get doxycycline. I think I'm pronouncing it properly. Some antibiotics, powerful antibiotics, because they were bitten by a tick. And I said, you know what, don't worry, you've got your wave one. Like, I look at the immune system like an army, and I look at the wave one like it is putting weapons in your immune system to go after whatever it is. So I think I'm sort of elaborated a little bit, because you asked me the difference between the platinum and the Lyme, the NIKKI Plus Lyme. So as I said, NIKKI Wellness for enhanced wellness, because it's got multiple frequencies. And then the NIKKI Plus Lyme, if you've got Lyme disease or co-infections, etc., that's the one that you need. And it's a return policy of 30 days with the NIKKI Plus Lyme. And that is not that you are going to be, that's where we were going, feeling better, because as I said, it takes time to unravel. I mean, it was about a couple of months before I started noticing things. And it, like you just talked about too, it depends on so many things. Are you drinking good, healthy, good, clean water? How's your nutrition? How's your diet? Do you have pre-existing conditions? Do you have stress in your life? What's happening with your hormones? I mean, all these things make a difference on healing. And how well do you detox? So the 30 days for the NIKKI Plus Lyme is for, I would say, for people that are ultra super sensitive, and we do get a few. You are going to know within 30 days if you can tolerate those frequencies. And it's also important to make sure that you are doing everything you can to support your body in the detoxification process, and taking binders as well. To help with that, because people may herx, and that's actually a good thing, but we don't want you suffering with that. And there's things that you can do to mitigate that. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. Because that just was a little confusing to a lot of folks I know. And, we were talking about one person who actually didn't start seeing results until month 7.
Oh,
So it is, and I like to say very often, this isn't a magic bullet, folks.
yes.
It's just another tool in your arsenal. And there's so many other things that you need to, like Janis had talked about, the diet, the mindset, trauma, water. So just making sure that people don't realize that, oh, well, I'm not cured in a month, so I'm gonna request my money back and I'm gonna send it back. Please don't. Keep wearing it. This is a really great place to pause. So we're going to pause for a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. You're going to want to stay to the very end, because like I said, we've got a lovely giveaway. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
NIKKI Plus Lyme is an evolution of Wave 1. The same bioenergetic frequency science that brought relief to Lyme sufferers around the world is now captured in NIKKI, a watch-sized wearable that enables wearers to address issues and enhance performance with a wide choice of frequency sets. Put a better life in your hands and on your wrist. NIKKI Plus Lyme frequency set is designed to help you get back to the life you enjoyed before Lyme. After 45 days, you also gain access to the NIKKI Platinum suite of 8 frequency sets and 5 frequency set bundles. Every NIKKI comes loaded with a full inventory of frequency set, including pain, energy, travel, immune, stress and anxiety, viruses and bacteria, allergies, insomnia, daytime bundles, nighttime bundles. NIKKI puts a personal wellness center in your hands and on your wrist. Be better. Do better. We are NIKKI.com.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. If you missed the first part of this, boy, you missed an amazing, inspiring story of our very own Janis here. And we're going to dive deeper into some of the customer service questions that she gets a lot of, and even some of her most inspiring, things that she's heard while working in customer service. So welcome everybody back, Janis.
Thank you.
So I'm going to go with some of the questions that we normally hear. What happens when I feel worse while wearing the Lyme frequency support program? So we talked a little bit about that herx, but what are some of the things that we can do, or we tell people, right, when you're experiencing a little bit of a herx?
Mm-hmm. So reach out to us and we will send you a lovely email. And that is actually when you're having a Herxheimer reaction. Many people know this, but I'll just go over it. That is when you have die off. So the frequencies are being effective. And when those spirochetes die, they send out toxins into your body. And with that, if you don't eliminate them quick enough, what happens is you have a Herxheimer, it's called a Herxheimer reaction. And that means those toxins are reabsorbed into your body. So the ways to mitigate that is to make sure you're drinking lots of water every day. You have to have a well hydrated cellular system, and all your systems in your body need to be hydrated properly for proper elimination and detoxification. And then the other thing that's important to do if you are in suffering quite a bit, because you can, and what those reactions are that you get, they are your Lyme symptoms that you had. I have people that phone and say, oh my gosh, I'm having a relapse. It's actually not a relapse, it's a Herxheimer reaction. And the Lyme frequencies are designed to do that. The immune system is doing what it's supposed to do. However, we want you to eliminate those toxins before they're reabsorbed. So we have a video in that email that we send from Dr. Schaffner, and it was taken from another live event in May. And it's a 5-minute video. It's not long. It's really interesting. And she's talking about what she recommends her patients to do. And she gives an entire list of binders. There's so many different types. And you can go to your health food store and ask them about the different types and take them. And then she talks about when you are even really having discomfort, you can double up your binders. So that's what we recommend to do, and that helps. I know some clients that do that on a regular basis, and even Dr. Schaffner talks about when treating Lyme, people should be taking binders all the time to help.
Absolutely. I love what are some of the other detox methods that we suggest?
So dry body brushing, infrared sauna, Epsom salts bath, deep breathing, movement. I know something that's really good for lymph is one of those little, what are they called? Those little round trampolines.
Rebounders.
Rebounders. That's really great to get your lymph glands going. So some of those things, and of course, water. I've talked to people that have said, I am in excruciating pain and my coworkers are telling me I'm sort of green. And I said, are you drinking water? No, I'm not. So, I mean, even that can be a simple thing that really makes a difference for people.
It's amazing getting back to the foundations.
Exactly.
People forget when they're really sick. I just got off a call with a girl and she was like, well, what about this prescription? And what about this? And what about that? And I'm like, have you eaten today? She said, no. I said, have you moved around today? She said, no. I said, how much water have you had to drink today? She said, like 2 cups. And I'm like, stop focusing on the treatment part and let's get back to the basics, right?
Exactly.
It's amazing what beauty and magic happens when we,
that's right.
Ourselves properly.
Give our body what it needs. Yeah,
absolutely. Hey, so what happens if I'm running into issues and need help? How do I contact the team?
You go to help@wearenikki.com and customer service will get an email. We will answer you via email. And if there needs to be a conversation, we'll send a meeting link. Sometimes going back and forth with emails, it just doesn't work and a conversation is better. So we're here to support you about the technology. Definitely.
Especially with somebody with Lyme brain. Oh my gosh.
Yes, 100%.
2 Lymies speaking from experience.
Yes, we'll have to have a talk after this, Heather. That we don't have anymore.
Give me another question that you hear quite frequently that you think would be beneficial to be said out loud on this podcast.
How long do I need to wear it for? So again, something that we find is that when people have a wave 1, they don't want to stop wearing it because they just feel better, and it's prevention, and it's part of their daily regime, which is what I do. So I just incorporate that with eating healthy, drinking water, wearing my device. I need to move more. So, and taking supplements, for vitamins and that kind of thing. So, continue to wear it. There's not a stop date for it. And it's interesting because some of these little spirochetes have different life cycles as well. So we want to catch all of those also. And I've got to say, many calls about people that have, they stop wearing it and then they get bitten by a tick. So they've got that device or they've sold it to someone else. They buy it back. I had a gentleman that called. There was one specific symptom he was really wanting to target. And unfortunately, he did not have the results he wanted from that, although there were many other symptoms that eased up for him. So he had returned it, excuse me. And a year later, he called me, says, Janis, you're going to think I'm crazy. I said, try me. And he said, I was looking over my notes and he said, I realized how much good this device was doing me. I would like to buy another one. Absolutely. Of course you can. So that's something else that we recommend. I'm just going to mention it is we recommend that people just start journaling. It doesn't have to be long. It can be even bullet points. So before you start using the device, write down what your symptoms are neurologically, physically, lifestyle, how you're feeling, your attitude about life, just living, and then be mindfully aware of subtle changes and mark them down on a date when you have them. And then it's really good to go over and review those things because we forget. And something else that I want to say that's really important is for people to really celebrate the small changes because they are huge victories. For example, I hadn't been able to read a book I love to read and I couldn't. That was amazing. Is that like running a marathon? Well, kind of, because it's a massive change. I've had people say, just for example, I'm thinking of one woman and she said, Janis, even the thought of thinking about doing projects at my house, I can't even go there. And then weeks later, and she was one that she wore her device for 7 or 8 months before she really said, okay, Janis, this is working. Because she'd say, oh, I don't know. And she said, you're not going to believe it. She said, I actually can see the top of my desk in my office. She said, that might not seem like much to you, but to her, it was massive. And she went one evening and watched a sunset and she wept at the beauty. And she hadn't felt joy in such a long time. I'm just giving you some examples of things. So it impacts our lives on so many different ways in relationships. When we first started back in 2019, there was a woman that she said, I was able to bake Christmas cookies for my family. And she didn't have the energy to do that for such a long time. Another gentleman out of Boston, he got back into his photography. And I mean, there's it helps with artistic, physically, mentally, every level that your life touches, every way that you touch life or life touches you, it helps to impact, getting down on the floor playing with your grandkids. I had one guy phone me, says, you're not going to believe what I'm doing right now. What are you doing? He says, I'm riding my horse. I haven't been able to ride my horse for years. So I just wanted to share some of those things.
That's absolutely beautiful. You gave me goosebumps.
Good.
Another frequently asked question I've heard is, can you wear the Wave 1 and the NIKKI at the same time?
Well, I would, something, my personal belief is I think you should take care of one thing and then the other. So if you're buying the Wave 1, always wear the Lyme and then add the wellness. So we talk about that, some people like to do their Lyme when they're sleeping. And then some people, and then they can do their wellness frequencies during the day. So I would say do them differently because I personally, especially for the first month or so, or at least you get into another month of doing the detox and the Lyme for 30 minutes each, to give your body an opportunity to start to recognize those frequencies and start to respond.
Absolutely, 110%. That's in the mornings, I'm always running my Lyme and mold first thing. And then after that, then I might run, stress and anxiety or energy or allergies, or if I'm traveling, so I actually have 2 devices because I like to be able to wear one at night if I need one to help with my sleep, right? So I've always got one on the charger. We're
too.
almost at time. So I would love to leave on another high note. This has all been really high, but tell me, what are your most favorite success stories?
Oh my goodness. there's been so many. We were doing some Lyme trials, and we had a live event in May. And one of the girls shared a little bit of her story, and she had been sick for so long, and her passion is yoga. And she hadn't been able to do it. No energy, pain and all that kind of thing. And she was sharing her story, and she was literally moved to tears because she was going to get back into yoga and get back into teaching. And she's finding her passion again. And I think, that's her story. And there's so many others that have found their passion, not only, their physical and mental, but their passion in life. It's like, what that gifting that has been put on the inside of you, or where you find your purpose. People are getting in touch with that again. And I think, that just makes an individual soar, and that's where they thrive.
Absolutely. Miss Janis, you were such a pleasure to have on today. You're such a wealth of information, and you're part of the heart of this whole operation. And that's why I think the success of this company has been the way that it is, because of the people behind it like you. So thank you for everything that you do at Free Medica and NIKKI.
Thank you so much, Heather.
Make sure that you end up going to wearenikki.com /podcast and enter in BioBeats for 10% off. And because we really love our customers so much and we want to show appreciation, we want to give away a free NIKKI every episode. So go head on over to the show notes, and that'll teach you how to enter to win. But everybody else, make sure to have a healthy day. Stay tuned and join us again. Thanks again, Janis.
Thank you.
With the Wave device, have you been able to get back to yoga?
I have, yes. And that was not even just teaching, but like my own practice. That was I remember so clearly. I went to a class last year and I wasn't even able to do like a basic pose because my body was in so much pain. And that's not something I've ever experienced before. I'm sorry, I'm getting like really emotional thinking about this. But it is really hard to have things that like you almost take for granted in your daily life, and then suddenly to just completely lose the ability to have those things anymore. So it almost in a way is like there are silver linings to everything, and that is a silver lining, is just like being grateful for so many of the basic things that we often don't even give a second thought to. So short answer, yes.
All-in-one wellness for Lyme sufferers. NIKKI plus Lyme is designed to overcome Lyme symptoms and support a better life following recovery. NIKKI plus Lyme offers the most advanced bioenergetic science in an attractive watch-size wearable. Lyme is the fastest growing vector-borne disease in the world, with over 500,000 cases diagnosed each year in North America alone. NIKKI brings non-invasive, drug-free, and doctor-endorsed frequency technology to the symptoms of this debilitating chronic disease that defies traditional approaches to recovery. NIKKI puts a personal wellness center in your hands and on your wrist. Be better. Do better. wearenikki.com